Plant superstitions.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of
wow.
creepy.
Ward off evil spirits and things like that?
Yeah, we're going to talk about all that stuff. So
well,
you want me to start with warding off evil?
Let's start it.
Okie dokie.
All right, let's
well,
do it.
According to legends and
Okay.
superstitions, and I want to make sure that everybody understands that this is not research-based information.
Okay.
This is just purely entertainment purposes
right.
only.
Okay.
So y'all don't, take any of this to heart, but it's just fun.
It's fun.
Right. It's fun.
It's fun.
And plants through the ages have really played into a lot of our religious ceremonies and rites. So there's a lot of interesting, weird stuff about plants out there. And one of the main things that plants are used for and were used for long, long ago, maybe still used today, I don't know, at this time of year when the spirits are out, is to ward off evil. And of course, garlic is well known, to take care of the vampires, and I don't know, all these other demons and things that are roaming the earth. So you hang that out, around your door. And then fennel actually is another one.
I didn't know that.
That long ago people would put it outside their houses and would stick the seeds in the keyholes. That's how the spirits get in. It's through the keyholes. So they would stick the seed in there to keep the bad magic away and the black magic and stuff. And it's kind of interesting though, because now we know fennel has some really good health properties to kind of help maybe boost our immune system. So actually, we need to be eating this stuff instead of sticking it in keyholes to boost our immune system up so we can better ward off the boogers when they come. So, and there's a lot of other plants that were used, to ward off evil, but we'll move on to one that is supposed to help you determine whether your partner is worthy.
Yeah, let's hear about this one.
Yeah,
let's
your romantic partner. And this one in particular I think is kind of interesting because it kind of takes the negative instead of the positive.
Okay.
So what you do, and everybody knows what basil is.
Right.
Very common, #1 selling herb, So what you need to do, if you have a prospective romantic person that you're interested in, you need to slip him or her a sprig of basil.
Ah, sprig
and
of
if
basil.
it dies or wilts, that's a really good indication that they are impure.
Which could be good or bad.
Depending on what you want, right?
And unworthy,
Unworthy.
So unworthy, yeah, I like that. Unworthy and impure.
That would be bad.
So yeah, well maybe you were looking for somebody impure. So that would be a good test, if you're looking for that kind of stuff. Okay, let's talk about how witches are able to fly. You ever wonder that?
Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you how to do it.
All right.
You take some foxglove and then you get some lard, animal fat. You make a big balm out of it, like an ointment.
Okay.
And the witches would rub that all over them, rub it on their broomstick, and they could fly.
And they can fly.
Yeah, so I don't know whether I'd trust that though. Get up on the roof with my broomstick and jump off when I'm covered with lard and foxglove, which is a poison.
Right,
so
it's a poison, right.
I don't know.
Set it on fire.
Yeah, maybe that would work. So when the New World was discovered, it opened up a lot of new plants for the Europeans.
All right.
And they didn't quite know what to make of some of these things. And see, they'd never seen potatoes. So, Irish potatoes.
Okay.
So, and the thing that bothered the Europeans about the Irish potatoes was that they grew underground. So they were considered to be the devil's food.
The
devil's food.
How about that?
So they still liked potatoes. So what they had to do to ward off the devil was to plant them on Good Friday and then water them with holy water. And then you could eat them, and then the devil wouldn't get you. So
you can eat them.
That makes total sense to me.
All right, Good Friday. There you go, Mr. D.
Yep.
Still has too many carbs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and there's two interesting things I really want to talk about.
Okay.
And one of them is pretty serious, and that was, the Salem Witch Trials. Back in 1691, long time ago, and people have often wondered what in the world got into those young women, those 8 young women, that made them think that they were possessed by demons and that they had been bewitched. And so now researchers think that they have found a plausible explanation as to, you know, what caused that.
Oh, wow.
And there's a fungus that can infect rye. And rye was known to be grown by the early settlers as a, you know, a grain for making bread and whatever. Right. And we know that this fungus is called ergot. And it's still around today. There are no resistant strands of rye. But to keep these spores that go through the whole process and wind up in whatever product, this causes people to have hallucinations, seizures, and to feel like stuff is crawling on their skin. So the conditions for this ergot to contaminate a rye crop is wet weather. And they've gone back through the historical records and found out that winter was a particularly wet winter in Salem. And this was, people in Europe were just finding out that this was the association of this contamination of rye caused this, you know, these symptoms.
Wow.
But it never got to the colonies apparently in time.
Wow.
So they think that that's a real plausible explanation for what made these girls have all these weird symptoms. And they think that was it because it came and went so quickly, and that there was a wet winter, and the symptoms very much mimicked, you know, the symptoms of what can happen when you eat this contaminated grain. So rye growers now prevent that very easily by just washing the grain in salt water. So it kills the fungus. Isn't that crazy?
Salt water.
Absolutely crazy. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is, you ever wondered how the legend of vampires got started? Huh? You ever wondered that?
I have.
Okay, good. That was the answer I was looking for.
Yes.
So the thing about it is, you know, you have all of these symptoms of people who are supposed to be vampires.
Oh, gosh.
And when you go back to Eastern Europe and you think about when this kind of started, Bram Stoker's novel, Dracula, kind of brought it all to a head because he took the symptoms of a known disease that was ravaging Eastern Europe at that time. And it is a disease called pellagra. Pellagra. And it's really, really interesting because from the New World, corn. Corn was, of course, discovered with the Native Americans, and the South Americans used corn as a staple. But what they did to prevent the pellagra, which happens if you just have corn as your main diet. Niacin is not available in corn at all. So if you just live on corn, which is a big grain crop, you can develop this disease called pellagra, which is a vitamin deficiency of niacin. Well, the symptoms of pellagra are just really bizarre because it gives you this real pale pallor. You're sensitive to light. It makes you photosensitive. And when you get out in the light, it causes blisters.
Does it make you want to bite people?
It does. It does. You're right. It makes, one of the things is dementia and dementia and aggressiveness. Being being real irritable and ill. And these people would only get around at night, and they'd be real mean, and and they were real pale. And also one of the other symptoms in dogs is called black tongue. And you can get ulcers in your mouth, and you don't want to eat because of all these ulcers, and they bleed, and then you get this crust of red, blood around your mouth. So, people assume, well, they've been sucking blood. And actually, one of the symptoms is you don't want to eat, but you want to suck things. And you want to eat weird food, like bugs and vermin. And it's just really a bizarre disease.
I see you could talk about this all day, couldn't you?
Yeah, it's really crazy. Stuff. Yeah.
Well, look.
We need to move on, huh?
What are you doing these days?
Me? Yeah. Oh, well, Besides doing this?
I was doing this, talking about Halloween
I
spirits.
work for the Mississippi Development Authority, which is I work for the tourism part, which is the welcome centers of Mississippi. We have 13, and I just wanted to promote the tourism of Mississippi and our welcome centers. And this month they have theme months, and this month is the month to promote agritourism in
we know all about
Mississippi.
that, being at
So
the agri
yeah,
center.
y'all visit the welcome centers, any travelers coming through Mississippi, and there's really, really helpful people there that can plan out their trip for them, make reservations, do all kind of helpful things to help promote tourism. So I'm having a big time. I enjoy it.
We know you're having a good time.
Yeah.
This is fun. Halloween stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Where's the Stevie Wonder music when you need it? Very superstitious. All right, thank you, Dr.
Yeah.
Kelly. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please click the subscribe button below.